Shalom, my brothers. Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom. Hey, I did this video yesterday, but I think I didn't have no sound, or the sound was erratic. But I'm here. I'm gonna do it over, because I know that this message is very important to us as a people, as a nation. And the name of the video is gonna be called "How Do We Get Along in the Other Nations' Heaven?" Because this is not our heaven. This is actually our hell. We are in our hell right now, and we are going through it. So this is our hell. This is their heaven, and you can obviously see that this is their heaven, and this you can obviously see that this is our hell that we are going through. They are living in luxury, while we are in poverty. Our subdivision is the subdivision that is tore down, wore out. Nothing in our subdivision. We got a food desert in our neighborhood. We have no banks that's our banks. We don't own any banks. We don't own any franchise stores. We have mom and pop. We really don't own nothing. Everything we got, we get from them. Because that's part of the curse. The curse that we should have and want all things from the other nations. The ones that God put over us because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments. But while we are in this land, we can start by treating each other better. Because it makes no sense that we are killing each other because we dislike each other. We talk about each other on the Facebook, media, everything. I see where parents are taking especially the women parents, evidently there's no man in the home because we know that we only make up 13 or 14% of the population of the population. And 65% of us do not have a father in the home. So you can visually see that we do not have a father in the home because ain't no way I believe that a father would let his wife take his daughter to somebody's house to fight. So there has to be no father in the house of that dude, because if you look at Facebook now, look at all the social media, our women have gone amok. Our women have lost control. Our women are something else to behold. Our women are taking their daughters to clubs. And I hear all these radio personalities say they don't see nothing wrong with it. How can you set an example when you take your daughter to the club? You patting her on her butt. Like, I don't understand it. I kind of do, because I read the Bible and I know that we are in a curse and these things are going to happen. Well, I can see them happening now. And God saying that we will be a mockery. We are a mockery. We are what people laugh at. We are people that they say them are supposed to be the true chosen people because they know we the chosen people. And they say them are supposed to be the chosen people, so they mock you. They call you all kind of names. We got so many different names, it's hard to remember all the names that they call us. They call us coons, spit, niggers, anything they could think of, they give us that name. We've been called throughout generation and it just passed down. Because, tell you the truth, we are despicable as a nation of people. We are shameful as a nation of people, to me. Because what I know when I read the Bible, I see how we're supposed to be and who we are, and then come out in this world and see us, how we acting, male, female. It doesn't matter. We are a shameful nation. We are despicable in God's eye, because that's why God is cursing us the way He is cursing us, because of the things that we do. But in this day society, we can at least start. I know this is not our heaven, this is our hell, but we can at least start by treating each other fairly. We can change the mindset of these people. We can change the mindset of how they think of us by the way we treat each other. I'm going to start off, the name of this is called Speaking Politely. This is in 1 Peter 3:8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. And we are none of them things. As a mass, I ain't talking about one or two people, but as a mass of people, we are none of them things. We are totally distant from what Peter said in 3:8. He said, be of one mind. We are not of one mind. We are confused. And the word Babylonia means confusion. We are in a state of confusion. We don't know what's wrong, right? We don't know what's wrong. We say that what's wrong is right, what's right is wrong, because that's the way we've been taught by the other nation, and we are living out what they're telling us that we should be. But when the Bible totally goes the opposite way of what they say, it's a lie. I'm not going to get to all that right now, but I'm just getting in the part about us speaking to each other politely. We can change the mindset of our people if we do this, and we just say good morning, say, hey, how you doing? How's your day? How you feel? How your family feel? How your mother feel? But we don't have no pity for each other. We see somebody down and out, what they did to get that way. Man, look at them. That's how we do each other. But guess what they do? They go help each other. We do not. We are a disgrace to the human race, if you ask me. If you look at the way we carry on, we are a disgrace. And I know, take your emotions out and put you and use your mind, your common sense, and see as well how we troll this earth and what we're doing. You know it's sad. You know it's a disgrace for us to be acting this way. If our ancestors were to come back alive and see us doing this here, they would want to come here. They would go back to the grave because of where we acting. And you know it. You see it with your own eye. You say it underneath your breath when you go here and there. You say it, but I'm the only one that visually saying it. I'm visually saying it, and you can see me. But y'all say it underneath your breath. I know you. I hear people saying it. I see it in their eyes. They say it when they see us, and we know we off. It's embarrassing me. You done been there. You done been there. Though I like you haven't. Just imagine, you know how you see one of us act a certain way, and you be around people, it feel like you doing it. So you feel embarrassed. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, and that's the true fact, because you can see it, you can witness it, you understand it. So this is nothing new. I'm just bringing it out in the Bible, what the Bible said we are doing. But the Bible said we need to be compassionate to one another. We need to love as brethren. Be pitiful, and be courteous. We none of them things. We none of them. Okay, go to Proverbs 15:1. These I'm giving you precepts on what I'm saying, because guess what? These things here further implement the plan that we're supposed to live off of. But nobody in church is teaching us these plans. And I want to ask the question, why there's nobody teaching us this stuff in the Bible? We would get along better if they taught us this instead of going to the church of this young and the restless. It's all the days of my life. That's all it is. You bringing that Atlanta housewife, you bringing that Atlanta, Detroit, what all that's housewife, all them the reality show you bringing in the church. So how you expect to learn anything and obey the law, statute, commandment if they bringing all that mess in church? The pastor don't even read the Bible no more. They don't even go by the scriptures no more. And y'all see it. Y'all know I'm not talking just nonsense, because you see this stuff going on, man. Come on now. Don't act like I'm the only one don't see this stuff. You do too. You get discouraged. But we have to straighten that. We can. We have to be loving and compassionate to one another, which we are not. Proverbs 15:1. 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a grievous word stirs up anger. That's so true. And who does that? We does that. When I say us, I'm talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. The so-called Negroes, so-called Native American Indians, the so-called Hispanics. That's us. We the only one that does that to each other in a great mass. Now they do it 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 days, but we are God. They say, well, how are you not saying about other races? But check this out. When you know that you are a great people, when you know you are the chosen people of God, that God chose to give the law for us to be an example, and then when you see us don't do it, it just make you feel a certain type of way. It's almost like you know you got a sprinter that can run a 5-1. I'm sorry, I take that, but that's too high. You got a sprinter that can run a 4-0. You got a sprinter that can run a 4-0, but then he run a 5. You disappointed because you know he can run a 4. Well, that's us. We are the top of the crop, but we don't act like it. We don't show no compassion against one another. Or soft, if one of your brethrens, because that's how you know the Bible talking about you, we the only one say, bro, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? We do that. Nobody else race do that. They try to cop off us and do that, but we do that. Because that's how you know the Bible talking about, because the word that they use. He uses slang word. We just kind of add a little tune to it because that's our culture. We telling you a soft answer. You don't have to be mad at the people all the time. Sometimes no answer is better. It's better. You get a grievous answer. Here you go. You fighting and you shoot. You kill each other. I just seen this thing on Facebook. Two dudes, like a restaurant bar or a sports bar. Like they was in there, and they was going back and forth. And one of the dude pulled out a gun and shot the dude. I heard it go. It went off 4 times. You can see people ducking. If that would have been a soft word, you could have ended that. But we don't know how to do that. So that's how the Bible knows talking about, because who gonna teach us this stuff if we don't learn? We have nobody to teach us this. So what we do, we act on our own. Of course, we act on what we see. Because we was a gentle people. If you go back and read us, we was a gentle people. God said we was the men of the tent. When he used men being masculine, he talking about all of us. We love to be hanging around the house. We love to be gathering each other. We love that. But then we done learned their ways, because we pick up everything we learned from them. We done learned everything from them, because you got to remember, we came over here through Africa, through all the slave trades. You done had the transatlantic slave trade. You done had the Sahara Desert slave trade. We done been all over. But we are not learning what we're supposed to, because we're not reading this Bible, because they done put in our head that this is the white man Bible. When you read it, all the stuff directly talking to you, and you see it talking to you. So how is it a white man Bible when the Bible talking to you? And you can see it using the word like, I am black unto the ground. I'm black but beautiful. Who say that? We say I'm black and beautiful. They use stuff that we say. It goes throughout the scripture. They describe Jesus Christ as a black man. But they've been giving us a white man, and now they got us fixated that the Bible's a white man. When you read the Bible, it clearly talks about a black man. I don't understand it, because we're not learning. The church not teaching you. Ask your question, why are not the church teaching you that Jesus is a black man? How come all of a sudden the Bible is, color doesn't matter? Color does matter, because guess what? That color got you thinking the way you thinking now. That color don't matter. That color that they put up there, white Jesus, knowing that Jesus is a black man, got you thinking what you thinking now, saying that color don't matter. If it didn't matter, why did they bother with it? Why did they give us that false information? The Bible called it the image of the beast. The Bible called this white Jesus, where they showing you the image of the beast. He called it the red dragon. When you read in the Bible, it says the red dragon, because guess what? Who is red? They're definitely not white. Who is red? They are red by color. So the Bible, when you see what it says, red dragon, you know what I'm saying? That's them. But you will never understand it, because you will never read the Bible. You don't even want to try to read it. I'm going to go on. Go to Ephesians. I want you to go to Ephesians 4. Please go to Ephesians 4. I see some disturbing stuff, man. It breaks my heart. Ephesians 4:31. Ephesians 4:31. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. God said, take that out of you. Get rid of that. Take that out of you. Why we have to treat each other like this? Why we treat each other like this and kill each other for nothing? We killing each other for nothing. We can stop this crime if we just love each other. Why are we jealous of each other? Why we have malice toward each other? Because we learned all this from them. We learned we was a kind people. We can still be a kind people toward each other, and that would solve a lot of this stuff, man. It would solve a lot. And be ye kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you. Yahweh Shah forgave us. He forgave us our sin. Why can't we forgive them? It's amazing how you can forgive a people that had you in slavery for over 400 years, shoot you down in the street, and you come in the courtroom and give the person who shot your brother dead, and you hug them. But you won't forgive your own brother who looked like you. You won't forgive your own sister who look like you, but you will go there and hug the other nation who do you wrong. We gotta wake up, people. And guess what they doing? They sit back laughing, making laws against you. Here you a Democrat, right? The Democrat ain't stopping nothing. Got to do with all the voters' right. They doing that. I've been looking at the news today. They in Texas they passing all kind of laws, and the Democrats know what they saying. We just gonna wait. Y'all, you got to get out of that Democrat Republican stuff, cause neither one of them the people have benefit you in no sort of way. You've been a Democrat since your mama was a Democrat. Your mama been a Democrat since her mama was a Democrat. You either Republican or Democrat, conservative. None of them people benefit you. You still in the same boat. They can still knock on your door, take everything you got for the ones who think they're living above everybody else and looking down. God said, get that out your heart, man. Because God said, pick a king among you that look like you. You had Barack Obama. He was not you. He was an African. And this man waited. Guess what he did? He done nothing for you. Right now, he considered one of the most powerful men, one of them. He can come over here and say something about them killing and shooting us. He ain't said nothing. You know where he went to. He went to Africa and tried to start up a league to introduce African to best basketball. That's what he does with all that fame and knowledge and power that he had and still has. But he has not came to your neighborhood and do any kind of rally for you or nothing. And you can. That's why I said he's not your people. You got to know who your people are. That's what I'm saying. Go to this right here is called Pay for Your Damages. Go to Leviticus 20 and 9. 20 and 9. For everyone that curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is another one. I got ahead of myself. I'm coming to that. Exodus 21:33. Pay for your damages. If you borrow something from somebody, no, I tell you on this. If you doing something, you cause somebody to get hurt. It said pay for your damages. Your damages is you getting somebody hurt. They say somebody working with you. And they break their leg. You supposed to pay for that because he's working with you. He's working for you. If you got somebody doing something for you and you paying him and he hurt himself, you supposed to pay for the damages. Let me read this verse in. If the ox shall push a man's servant. If an ox shall push a man's servant, that's basically if you working on somebody's oxes, you're a man walking behind the ox. That's a servant. The servant is working for somebody who owns the ox. Or a maid servant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels, and the ox shall be stoned. See, but God gave you mercy and grace, but what the concept is that if you damage somebody's property, you should pay them for their property. I shouldn't have to be taking you to court to sue you for pay you for something that you've done. You should pay for the damages. And that goes on a lot in our community. When we doing work for somebody, they don't want to pay for the damage that they done. Oh, you told me to come here and do it. Man, but you did the damage. And that's a lot of our businesses that we got. That's why we can't own a business. That's why it don't last long. Because we don't want to pay for the damage. And you can't tell me that ain't us. As a people, that's us. We doing the exact same thing God told us not to do. God said pay for the damage. You broke whatever you were doing. You got to pay for that damage. But we don't do that. Go to Exodus 22:15. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good if he be in higher thing. It came from his hire. I'm the owner of the company. And I hire somebody to do a job. The owner should make good of it. If I get hurt or anything, the owner should, it's basically just what I told you. You just read infirmary, you should make good on it, man. Don't see your brother where he done hurt himself and you don't want to pay for the damages. Why I got to take you to court when we can be communicating and talking this thing over with? All we got to do is show each other tender love and care. We don't do that as a people. As a nation of people, we do not do that. And y'all know this, you know. So don't say, man, that's all you got to talk. This is part of the Bible. This is part of the stuff that will help us live better and have a good conscience at night. Okay, don't hit or swear at people. This is what I want to get to. Go to Leviticus 20 and 9. Leviticus 20 and 9. For everyone that curses his father or his mother shall be surely be put to death. He has cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon his hand. You see them dying. See, before then they were stoned. Just kill them right then. But God, Jesus Christ, his son, Yahweh Shai came here and died for your sins and gave you mercy and grace. So instead of just killing you right then and stoning you, now God got you where you dying slowly. He died slowly. You see our kids are getting shot in the street. You see our kids are being hunted down and their body parts are being stolen out of their body. They're being kidnapped. You see the death around them. They dying. Any kind of thing you get, God killing them. They're not even living to be 19 to 20 years old. They're in prison. They turn gay. They dying. We won't have a younger generation because they're going to be all dead. Because the rapid rate they're going, because nobody want to teach them the Bible. Nobody want to teach them not to swear. Not just your mother and father, your elders. You at the bus stop disrespecting your elders because guess what you're doing? You got your drawers showing in front of a person at 80 years old. They're not used to that. They don't want to be used to that. You shouldn't want to be used to that either. You don't want nobody to stand around your mother with your drawers hanging out during them below your private part where you can see. And that's just sad. And the man that commits, that's the other thing. But yes, your blood shall be upon you. Because we disobeying law, statutes, and commandments. That's all it is. And we just go back to love your brother, we'll be fine. But guess what? We don't want to do these. The things I'm telling you, the thing that you're doing, and you see it with your own eyes. It's sad. I always say it's sad that if I just came up here and blotted stuff out. But I'm giving you scriptures to go to. It's stuff you can see with your eyes that's happening. And here's the answer to what's happening to stop that. All we got to do, God, is get rid of the malice in our heart, which is your mind, towards your brethren. Go to Colossians. Colossians 3:20. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord. Because if you don't, you're going to suffer. You're going to go through turmoil right now what you're doing. If you don't listen to if you don't obey your parents, you die. I don't have to go no further with that. You die. You see it. The children are dying every day. They had 6 murders in 6 shootings in 24 hours the other day. All black people. Young black boys, so-called. So you see it's happening. It's not changing. I just seen them boys going to trial now. Here in Jacksonville, they got an apartment complex. That's over off of Mon Creek. They done change the name. You can change the name of them, but it's still the same people. They got 6 of us going to trial for this stuff right now. 1 is a woman. So it don't make no difference. If you disobey your parent, God punishes you. Deuteronomy. No, go to Proverbs 13:24. Proverbs 13:24. Proverbs 13:24. He that spares the rod hateth his son. I want you to catch that. He that spares the rod hateth his son. It's masculine, so he's talking about your daughter too. Why? You got on the TVs, you got the commercials saying you not to spank your kid, not to discipline your kid. When the God said if you spare the rod, you hate your child. You hate your child if you spare the rod, but guess what? You can continue not chastising them. You continue not giving them whippings. Guess what happens? The police gonna whip them. The police killing them. Police beating them with a flashlight. Police shooting them. Police shooting with their hands up. Police stun gunning. Police just beat them and hide the camera for 2 years. And your son is dead. You trying to find. Police shooting them in the street for jogging. Police doing all that discipline. So they discipline your child while you not. You send your dumb self home, not discipline your child while the police discipline your child. Self-explanatory. But the Most High says, do you see a preacher ever tell you about disciplining your child? No, because guess what? We as a people are so ignorant to the law of God that we follow the law of man, that if I speak against that and own a church, you're going to walk out of church and that man ain't going to have no money to keep up his good living. So he ain't going to never preach on stuff that needs to be preached on to save your child's life. Because you disobeying the law, statute, commandment of God, so God killing your kids. Every morning you wake up, you got a mama crying about her son or her daughter. That's God doing that. They not God using them to do that. Because you disobey the law, statute, commandment, just point blank. A preacher ain't going to go directly to tell you that. He going to kind of beat around the bush, but guess what? God doing that. Don't nothing, God, you think he just slide past God? God know what he doing. He got to clean a third. 2/3 of you got to go. So he cleaning off the earth. You can't have a heaven without no laws. So how you think you're going to go to heaven when God come bring, the heaven is going to be on earth, so he got to clean this up. So he cleaned this up by getting rid of the 2/3. The 2/3 are part of your kids that are disobedient and you not whooping them. And the other third is us, grown folks, dying from diseases, dying from starvation on the street corners, all kinds of stuff like that. God going to clean this earth up. Regardless of whether you want to believe it or not, he going to clean this earth up. You can stand on the sideline and watch you want. God cleaned this earth up. He going to use whatever he used to get rid of that 2/3 of the people. The church ain't going to tell you that, but I'll tell you. Because we're not doing what the law said. Everything you borrow, you got to give it back. Let me read this here. Go to Psalm 31:21. 37. (37) 21. The wicked borrows and payeth not again, but the righteous show mercy and giveth. When you borrow money from people, you got to get the people their money back. A lot of us are dying because you shooting a man because he owe you some money. You in court because somebody owes you some money and won't pay you back. God said that's a wicked man. That is an absolute wicked man when you borrow money from somebody and won't pay you back. That's the Most High saying that, not me. You are a wicked person when you borrow money from people and won't pay it back. Just point blank. Let me go to pay fairly. Pay fairly. Go to Deuteronomy. No, go to, Deuteronomy 24. Deuteronomy 24. Deuteronomy 24, 14. Thou shalt not oppress and hire servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or thy stranger, that are in the land within their gates. The Most High said, if I hire somebody to do a job, I should pay them fairly. And as a nation of people, I'm talking about us, we won't pay ourselves fairly, our own people. But you get another race of people come, you'll pay them 2 times, even give them a tip. But you want to give your own people, you want to pay them fairly. God said, thou shalt not oppress the hirer. If I hire somebody, I should pay the man fairly. Man or woman, I should pay them fairly, but we don't do that. And guess what? Every scripture I just read you, just went over with you, is stuff that we see happen to each other. We see that happen to each other. So you know this Bible is written for you, by you, and to you. Because this thing, it fit us to the T. It fit no other nation what I just read you. What I just read you, gave you scriptures, gave you where to go and look these things up. It fit us to the T. This is our book, people. If you want to learn, you got to read this book. Read it for yourself. Quit letting people tell you there's something. Read for yourself. I don't even know how I have to say it. Get the Bible, read for yourself, and take it out your car. Take it out the trunk of your car, out of the windshield. Take it off the centerpiece. I remember when we was coming up, if the Bible, you be sitting on the centerpiece, you touch that Bible, you get a butt whipping. for touching the Bible. How you gonna learn the thing? You think you're supposed to flip the page and just by having the page, or there's supposed to be a spirit come out and gonna heal your house or something? You got to read this word for it to heal you. How you think you're gonna make a change if you don't read it? Our people don't like to read. Our people don't like to read. I challenged a friend of mine. I said, look here. If you read a book, I will read one of your books. I just want you to read, because once I know you read one of these books, it's going to open up your mind and get you to thinking. See what I'm saying? I can read your book and block it out, because I know what it is. But I want you to read one of these books, and I guarantee you to open your eyes. I got over maybe 60 books. I'm just still building my library of reading. Everything I read contains to us. Came to us, and then I can verify with the Bible. We are lost people. We must come back to the Most High. If not, we're going to continue to suffer. Our kids going to continue to die. We losing a generation of kids. You're going to continue to die from pestilence. God said pestilence coming with the diseases. Famine coming with you. You going to be no food. Famine means starvation. All this stuff coming and already done started. A lot of it done started. There's a lot of our kids right now today, if they didn't go to school, they wouldn't get a square. They wouldn't get breakfast and lunch. They go home, they don't get no dinner because there's no food. So a lot of it's already going on, and you know it. 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 It's not nothing I'm making up. It's everything you know. You know I'm telling the truth. There are a lot of our kids go home right now today. They starving. After school, after this over with, the lunch over with, they won't have nothing to eat for the rest of the day. You got to come back tomorrow. And that's why a lot of them want to come to school, because they can eat. Why you think God said this stuff going to happen? He said a famine is coming. It's coming. It's already here. They're making artificial food. It's already here. The stores are getting low and such, so they got making artificial grapes, artificial orange. Ain't nothing real. Tearing your stomach up, tearing your body up. Hey, all that come with a famine. Then God said you're going to die from disease. You die from COVID. You die from cancer. You die from liver disease. You die from heart attacks. You die from stroke. You die from high blood pressure. You die from cholesterol. You die from the gout. We die from all this. So these diseases just coming. And guess what? Now I just seen on the news they got it's three different variants of the corona. The third one, they say that the vaccine ain't gonna do no good. The vaccine gonna do so. They keep mutating. They keep changing the game. You better get with the Most High. Get what the Most High said. He said the righteous man shall be preserved. So you can take it like you want, but I'm just telling you what God said. Yahweh Shai, his son. It's all in the Bible. Straight scriptures. That's where I go from. That's where I get my information from. Shalom, my people. Shalom, my people. I love you. Shalom. Shalom, my people.